Good evening, you're welcome to the evening news on Fliptv. I am Christian Chiku. Let's start with the newspaper news headlines. Federal government uncovers 96 financiers of Boko Haram ISWAP. Football club attacked for signing rapist striker. Weekend in Rivers court trial. 12 migrants freeze to death after rejection at Greece border. Kidnappers demand 70 million naira from Zamfara lecturer's family. And here is the news in detail. The federal government says it has uncovered 96 financiers of terrorism across the country, especially those backing Boko Haram and the Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP. This was disclosed by Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, during a press conference on the administration's fight against corruption in Abuja on Thursday, February 3rd. He said the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit NFIU in 2020-2021 revealed 96 financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, while 422 associates and supporters of the financiers were also uncovered. Also, about 123 companies and 33 bureau de change were linked to terrorists, in addition to 26 suspected bandits, kidnappers, and 7 co-conspirators who have now been identified. According to the minister, the analysis has resulted in the arrest of 45 suspects who will still face prosecution and seizure of assets. Still on terrorism financing, Lai Mohammed said the NFIU had intelligence exchanges on Boko Haram ISWAP, banditry, kidnapping, and others with 19 countries. Scottish football club Raith Rovers is facing outrage from fans and from within its own organization for signing striker David Goodwillie, who in 2017 was ruled in a civil case to have raped a woman along with a former teammate. Raith announced it had signed the 30-year-old Goodwillie on Monday to a contract until the end of the 2023-2024 season. Raith announced it had signed Goodwillie had been with Clyde and other teams since the 2011 incident. In response to the criticism the club faced for the signing, Raith Rovers released a statement which said in part, "Please be assured that as a community football club, we fully acknowledge this signing has divided opinion amongst our loyal fans and commercial stakeholders. We aim to rebuild that trust. While acknowledging the gravity of what happened 10 years ago, as a club, we fully support and encourage rehabilitation, and many factors influenced our signing. But first and foremost, this was a football-related decision, but the signing is having negative effects within the organization and the wider world." Tyler Rattray, captain of Raith Rovers ladies team, has announced her intention to quit the club. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike is at a state high court in Port Harcourt for a second consecutive day to personally observe the prosecution of a foreign company, Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited, and parent organization Saipem SPA with its management over an alleged fraud against the state government. The company is accused of failing to execute the contract for the construction of a power plant near the Afam power station in Oyigbo local government area of the state, after receiving full payment of $130 million and an additional 70 billion naira in variation between 2011 and 2014. The Rivers State government said the failure of the company to execute the project led to the abandonment of a gas turbine generator unit in Holland since 2012, which the state is paying so much on demurrage. The case was instituted by the Wike administration in November last year before Justice Okogbule Basam of the Rivers State High Court 25. The defendants in the matter are Saipem SPA, Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited, Walter Peviana, Kelechi, Syntech, Chinakwe, Giandomenico, Zingali, Vito Testazuga, and David Anelli. At least 12 irregular migrants were found frozen to death in northwestern Turkey after they were pushed back from neighboring Greece, the Turkish Interior Minister said on Wednesday. 12 of the 22 migrants pushed back by Greek border forces and stripped off their clothes and shoes froze to death, Süleyman Soylu said on Twitter. The EU is remediless, weak and void of humane feelings, said Soylu, adding that while Greek forces acted as a thug against people who had been made victims, they were tolerant towards members of the Fethullah terrorist organization, which was behind the 2016 defeated coup in Turkey. Thousands of the terror group members fled fled to Greece after the coup bid on July 15, 2016, which was orchestrated by Feto and his ringleader Fethullah Gulen. It left 251 people dead and 2,734 injured. Soilu shared photos of the site where the irregular migrants were found with the victims' blood. Abductors of the family members of a lecturer in Zamfara State have demanded a ransom of 70 million naira to release their victims. This comes barely a day after 5 persons were abducted by bandits who stormed the residence of Abdurrahman Adamu on Wednesday at Damba Quarters, a community in the outskirts of Gusau. Adamu is the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities at the Federal University Gusau in the state capital. Hours after the incident, a family source who pleaded anonymity confirmed to Channels television that the kidnappers have contacted them. According to him, they have demanded 70 million naira as ransom before their family members will regain their freedom. Sources told reporters that the gunmen carried out the attack in the early hours of the day, during which one other person said to be an official of the institution was forcibly taken. Those abducted were identified as the ASU's chairman's younger brother, niece, nephew, and 2 of his wife's younger sisters. We've come to the end of Fliptv News. Hope you enjoyed the report. I am Christian Chuko.